Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Ayakashi Koigikyoku. And we didn't get through Chapter 9 in the last part, because I rambled a lot about a lot of things. So we're in Chapter 9, and we are just picking up where we left off, and we will see if we wrap up in the same amount of parts, or if we're going to have an extra part because of my rambling. Or because chapters are long. I don't know. Last time it was because of my rambling. Maybe we'll have some longer chapters since he's technically the canon route. So. But I figured the longer chapters wouldn't be till the end. You know what I mean? This is just, we're kind of in the middle, fleshing out, like, do you think he kind of likes us because he kissed us? Anyway. We didn't get CG for that because that one doesn't count, I guess. Anyway. Phew! That looks like something we can manage the schedule next week. What? Alright. I finished writing the email and turned the laptop off. When I stretched a little bit, I started to yawn. Oh, that's right. I wasn't able to sleep well last night. The moment I realized that I was sleepy, I became even more sleepy. I was led towards the dream world on top of my papers. Okay, so she fell asleep. All right. I don't mind how I was led toward the dream world on top of my papers. That is actually like the fanciest line that's been in this game, because they're usually pretty ratchet, let's be honest. But like that, you're like, wow, that you tried. So, like, that one just came out, like, so almost poetically written. I was led to dreamland instead of, I fell a fucking sleep. Like, anyway. When I realized it, there was someone next to me with a white light. I can't see their face, but I felt peaceful staying next to that person. Were you singing? I don't know if it's supposed to be the fox. I'm assuming it's the fox, actually. Or, yeah. Anyway. I tried to nod, but I can't get my voice out. I was singing a while ago. It seems like various meanings are put into human songs. Yeah, because... Alright. I nodded. I wanted to see this fox that I was... I wanted to see this fox that I was reading waka. Japanese traditional poem song, but was that how you would phrase that? Doesn't sound right. Anyway. So that's how humans tell their feelings. We shouldn't just howl, but to have some emotion with it. Feelings... When I asked the fox, he nodded. Oh, we're competing for the land by our howl. Creatures with the strongest mystic power can rule. Not just howling, but if we can compete with the songs, then it would be beautiful. That's how I felt with your song. Thank you. I was able to release my voice out this time. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? You're a mysterious yin-yang master as usual. You used a song to call a fox. It comes out naturally. When I want to see you, and even when I'm feeling lonely. Okay, so we're basically being the yin-yang master in this dream? You know, like sometimes you're like, I was me, but I wasn't me. Like I was there, but I was totally someone else in my dream. And that must be your power source. The rare yin-yang master. I was wondering what kind of human it is, but I never thought it would be a girl like you. Did I let you down? No, wait. Thankfully, my wounds healed this quickly. The fox touched his leg. Good, there are no marks left. It was an apparition of raccoons, and so I thought there would be more curse left on me. You're amazing. The raccoons? The fox had a bitter smile. Recently, the forces of us... so fox forces, like the forces of the fox, have been weakened, so we've been attacked. We hope to coexist with people, but raccoons seem like they want to get rid of the human beings. I hope there's a way for everyone to get along. And that would be difficult. But maybe if you use a song, there might be a way to regain power. Can you teach me how to make waka? Yes, of course. We can sing together. I took the fox's hand. The warmth of his hand was, as I remember, it was the same as Akito's. Somebody was calling me. I started to look around to check. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna sleep here, just go home. You're gonna catch a cold. Huh? Akito! I'm sorry. When I woke up quickly, I was in the office, and I could see all the contracts and papers spread around in front of me. I must have slept right there yesterday. I didn't know the time, so I say good morning, but it was still midnight. Somehow, I try to remember the fox in my dream. I compared him with Akito. He looks similar, but also different, too. When I wake up, I can barely remember his face. It's frustrating. I need to put more air in my bouncy ball. It's like starting to creak every time it rolls, and it's really weird. Was that his ancestor? Is it a dream that, was it a dream that was just shown by the Magatama? I really want to check, but I don't know how to explain my dream. Hey, Akito, why did you decide to sing? He suddenly frowned, but Akito answered. Well, it's simple. To rule the human beings and to look for the Magatama. To work as a band. In the beginning, there was some opposition. Someone was trying to stop you? Do the foxes sing from olden days? When I was surprised, Akito looked at me strangely. In old days? I don't know much about a long time ago. Yeah, there were times when tanka, short Japanese songs, were used for howling, but humans aren't really singing anymore. Well, yeah. He was right. Even if someone asked me to read, it would be trouble for me. Do you don't know how to read? That's so sad. That's so sad. We should get you... You should get to the Derek Zoolander School for kids who can't read good and learn to read, sweetie. I'm assuming that's not exactly what they meant. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe, but I wanted to sing. Akito squeezed the paper he had in his hand. Oh, is that... You completed your song? I stood up immediately. Still, the music score wasn't complete enough, but Akito's facial expressions were really bright. That's great! Let's show this to everyone when they come back. You help me. What? Since Akito looked at me straight and said that, I was puzzled. That's not true. Even if I was near you, I wasn't able to do anything. No, because of you, I remembered what I wanted to protect. Also, I felt like I understood what sentimental feelings are. Sentimental feelings? As a future chief of the Fox Village, I have to defend all of them, and that's why I started the band. And now I really just want to sing. Akito. Right at that moment, the door opened. I'm back! Oh, you guys are still here? Why in the world would you bust into the office? I'm back! Oh, you're still here? Were you just gonna say that to an empty office? Little weirdo. You're working on the songs still? There was also Kasumi. Came back to the office after those two. Okay, Kasumi also followed them into the office. Great, there you go. Something like that. Anyway. Are you alright, bro? Cool, bro. Oh, bro. Are you okay? You went to the aquarium without me, and I'm still mad about that. Anyway, apparently everyone seems to finish their work without any problem. I'm assuming it's supposed to be Akito. Akihito. Whatever. Akito started to show everyone the music score. It's gotta be because they use the same kanji letters for, like, the names, and, like, sometimes there's different ways, like, oh no, this is how we pronounce it in a name, this is how we pronounce it in their name, and it's like, it's the same fucking... It's like if you spelled Spacey the same way, but it was Tanya for that girl. What? That's not... I mean, we have similar things, like, C's can be sound like K's, they can be sound like S's, like... Shh. Like in Pacific Ocean. Pacific. Oh, shh. And there's 3 different fucking ways to say a C, depending on the other letters around it. So, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, you're like, what? But that what? But when it's in a name, it's completely fucking different than if it's in a normal... I don't know, it's fucking baffling. I'm sure English is definitely confusing because nothing makes any fucking sense in it. How we understand it, I don't know. But anyway. Wow! And this is what you made? It's great! I've never seen a melody like this before. Yuki started to look into it from next to Kasumi. He seemed surprised and raised his voice with excitement. Yeah, it came to my mind somehow. It's a bit lonely, but it's also a nostalgic phrase. Phrase? I didn't have much knowledge of music, but apparently there are Japanese ancient tunes arranged with... Wait. There are Japanese ancient tunes that are arranged with... Okay, there are some Japanese ancient tunes arranged within the song, is what I'm thinking they're trying to say there. Okay. Perhaps like waka? I just remembered what I saw in my dream. Long ago, if there were times when foxes were singing songs with people, there might be some memories left from that time. It looks difficult to play. And do you think we can make it? You think we can work with this one? If we can't make our songs, then the raccoons will... Huh! Is that all about me? I appreciate that you as the ruler of the creatures cares about me. From the door that's been opened, there was a blonde man. There was the blonde man I saw the other day rudely enter. That was like 3 different tenses, but that asshole showed up. Anyway, why are you here? Oh yeah, we do come to the studio often. We have a recording next door, so I came here to greet you. There's that big guy with a mouth that's split like a snake. You need to greet so that you can disturb us. You know, if you think that you can win without doing that, that's just really sad. You needed to greet so that you can disturb us? Okay, I kind of get what he's saying. Like, oh, you just came here to bug us. You know, if you think that you can't win without doing that, then that's really sad. Oh, can't win without disturbing. Oh, anyway, my brain can't. Even though Akito tried to provoke them, they were just putting a grin on their faces. I'll just say that back to you, Sir Fox. You guys seem to be stuck here all day. I guess you're the one who's been struggling. And why are they here at fucking midnight? Why are we all here at midnight? I mean, I fell asleep here and Akito was working, but like, why the fuck did everybody like pop back in like, hey, we're back? It's midnight. Go the fuck home. And why the fuck are these assholes here? It's midnight. It's ridiculous to see the dying races. Akito starts biting the back of his teeth. It was the recognizable provoke that everyone couldn't hide their discomfort. Just keep going. So, what do you want from us? You're just trying to tease us. Kindly, I'll warn you. Each one of the things they say is irritating. Everything they say is irritating. Okay. Oh yeah, I did pass through the entire story to the others. This is the end of your lovey-dovey life. What does that mean? What? What? Lovey-dovey? What are you talking about? Stop saying stuff that doesn't make sense. Okay, Akito's with me. When Akito glared, the blonde guy looked at me with a grin. Well, you see, what have you been doing here until right now today? I've already reported that there were only 2 smells. Gross. They're smiling with a disgusting grin and looked at both me and Akito. Oh, they're going to spread rumors that we were here together. I was taking a nap on my fucking desk because I'm tired and I was working. I'm his manager. That's why we're here, you dumb fucks. What are you talking about? He was staying here writing lyrics. Do you think the others will believe it? It's going to be fun, you know. Again, I'm their manager. He was writing lyrics and I was here doing paperwork. Like, I was going to have sex with him and be in my own house. Well, actually, in the desk in the office is kind of kinky, I guess. So, sure. With everybody else just walks right in. I guess if that's what you're into, you're like, ooh, it's the thrill of maybe getting caught. I mean, sure. But, like, the fuck, bro? I'm his manager. Like, it's sad, though, that in the state of the world, like, literally, you're there doing paperwork, he's writing lyrics, you're their manager. Somebody's gonna spread, oh my god, they were alone together. Oh my god, they're totally fucking each other. And everyone's like, oh! And it's like, I'm his manager and this is our work building. Total, you could actually be having sex on the desk, but like, you have a legitimate excuse for being in the same building, in the same room, just the two of you. Yeah, it was late. He was working on lyrics. I was there to support him and I was catching up on paperwork. I was doing my job. He was doing his job in a building where we do our jobs. Total legitimate, and everyone would be like, oh, no, that is totally you were fucking. What the fuck? People just want to believe the scandals is totally what it is. You have a legitimate reason. And everyone should go, oh yeah, no, that actually sounds reason. Okay, yeah, no, those guys are just full of shit. But they're going to believe the guys that are full of shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because 2 people can't be doing their jobs in the same place without, like, accidentally having their genitals fall into each other. Like, hello? What? The fuck? I mean... But that's the shit that would go around. And if you are the person who goes, did you not think that maybe there were... No, it's totally like... Because people want to believe the scandals. You want to believe the outrageous, crazy shit. I don't know why we do, but we do. And you're like, the fuck? It's so stupid. Anyway. With a meaningful comment and a nasty smile, they left. The moment the 2 left, Keisuke appeared all of a sudden, who hadn't been coming in much recently. And those guys, they caused this. Keisuke, where were you until now? Although Keisuke appeared easygoing, once he opened his mouth with a subtle expression, his hands on his chin. Just, you know. And there are some problems, Akito. Your parents are coming tomorrow. Akito changed his expression immediately when he heard. It was the irritated expression I've never seen on Akito. Our mother and father? Kasumi also grasped the fist. What? Grasp the fist! It's like they've been sentenced to death. Oh, their parents are assholes. Have we met them? Yes, we have. Kosei and Yuki also went silent. I remembered the uneasiness and anxiety within me. Also, he's the chief of the Fox Village. The father, right? He should not just be popping around unprotected. You know what I'm saying? It's like the king or the queen or the president. Fuck it. But, like, I'm the queen. I'm just going to go pop down to the... And, like, yell at them. I bet you have a fucking brigade around you to protect your ass. I mean, sure, humans aren't going to know who he is, but there's other douche weasel, like the foxes, and those motherfuckers are obviously skis balls. You think well, I mean, I guess they're like, we have power, we'll kick his ass. I don't know, I'm just saying. You should take a little more care protecting yourself instead of just showing up to yell at your son because a rat and a raccoon fucking spread some rumor bullshit. You would think you'd be like, I'm gonna believe these motherfuckers. But yet they're gonna believe those motherfuckers. So far-fetched, it's not... I can't even suspend my disbelief at some points. Anyway. I remember the uneasiness and anxiety with me. Okay, what's gonna happen? On that day, everyone scattered away and left the office without talking much. Oh, we're almost done with chapter 9. Okay, sure. The next morning, Akito came to the office without sleeping. I stopped my hand from switching on the air purifier that I normally use. Let's get some fresh air. The wind that brings in brought in from the windows had the fragrance of osmanthus. The wind that was brought in from the window had the fragrance of, brought in. That's some classic English right there. That's kind of the... I don't blame them for that, because that's basically the kind of stupidity you see in English, and you're like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, and yet it makes... and that's proper... Obviously that was not, but I'm just saying. There are examples of that where you're like, that's proper grammar, and it sounds dumb as fuck. Akito looked outside the window next to me. The mountain had started to turn red and yellow. Like, you can understand... English can be understood through thorough thought, though. Or taught through thorough thought, though. And if you write that, you're like... When you look at it, you're like... Wait, what? It takes a minute to process because they're all almost spelled the fucking same, and you're like, wait, what? And your brain can't comprehend it. Anyway. Hey, you can go home. Akito wasn't talking to me in the usual irritated tone, but he was talking to me in a serious manner. But if it's related to the future of Foxier, then as a manager... We asked Ayakashi to go home, but in terms of you, I'm sure we'll be asked to bring you here. Is that because of the Magatama? Because no one actually reported anything to the village about the discovery of the Yin-Yang Master's descendant, who's been passed on with the Magatama. That was a long fucking sentence, and I did not expect it to be that long, and I didn't take a breath. Wow. It was surprising. I thought Keisuke already had reported it a long time ago. No one? Akito, Kosei, and Kasumi also seemed to have the same impression. Although Keisuke seemed doubtful, he was giving out a bitter smile. So, are they coming to get this Magatama by force? I'm worried because I haven't decided to hand over the Magatama yet. If it was by force, then maybe the Magatama might get out of control. When I said that with caution, Keisuke shook his head. And don't worry, and they're not going to be rough. And no one's going to take it by force. And they're still from the prestigious family with education. Also, I've already told them that no one's able to touch the Magatama but you. Also, if Akito's been blown by the power of the Magatama... Phrasing. Blown away by the power. Don't say blown by, because that just... This is... You're turning this into a porn, Kasumi. Stop. Anyway, they're not going to attempt anything. Please relax. Even with Kasumi reassuring me, I get worried. That's right. Akito's parents already hate me because I'm a human being. Look, don't do anything unnecessary. Well, even if you say anything, nothing will be conveyed to my mother and father. It's even sadder that Akito is saying that straight and naturally. Akito seems like he's given up. From the side face of Akito, I can see his facial expression is vanishing. Even the usual confident eyes are now looking depressed with no animation. Because he just wants to be a musician and they're forced... Aww, you kind of feel bad. I watched Akito's face that said he had given up. I remember the dream I had at the Fox that I'd seen recently every night. Last night's dream was about the song that became in one From Manyoshu? Okay, something about... I don't know. Anyway, they were singing together after all. I've been waiting since you left to the mountain. Even though I couldn't wait, I wanted to go and wait for you. Many days had passed since you came. Let me pick you up. I can't just wait here for you. In my dreams, I said that's what it means. That's probably me, but not me. First of all, I don't remember and know much about Waka. But in my dreams, I was able to answer about the meaning of... I think she means by the answer about the meaning to the fox. When I explained, the fox smiled softly. Well, I can understand that feeling. Also, I can sing that song. Even she said it was for you. From when did the fox and humans have trouble? What's happened so that we're left to be called as a traitor? That moment, the wind just passed in front of us. It's in the corner of the room that Akito glared sharply. What? Next to the foliage plant, there was a small whirlwind. That whirlwind gradually grew bigger, and it was difficult to keep my eyes open. Okay, and they can travel by magic whirlwinds, so I guess they don't have to worry about, like, tramping through the city and getting stabbed by the fox. I mean, the raccoon or whatever, so... Alright. Akito held me towards his chest. What is this? When I opened my eyes, there was a middle-aged woman with Japanese clothing and a dignified man who also wore a kimono. Father? Mother? Akito muttered quietly. Huh? I had no idea how they were entering. Normally speaking, I imagine them to enter from the door. What is it? Akito and the others are walking in here normally every day. I get it. She's like, wait, how did you get in here? Basically, that's what she's saying, but the way they phrased it is so, like, dumb. What is it? Akito and others are walking in here normally every day. When really what you meant was, wait, what's going on? How did you get in here? Thank you. But you see why sometimes it sounds like it was written by a 6-year-old? 6-year-old who doesn't have a grasp of English. Really, like, it's so fucking... Because it's like the way things are phrased and you're like, I guarantee you, if I went back to the stories I wrote when I was a kid, I used to write stories all the time. I wrote, like, it was like probably like 5 pages, but my book that I wrote when I was like a really little kid, I guarantee it would sound as stupid as this. Like, you'd read it and you'd be like, sure, the idea was good, but your writing is shit, kid. Like, it was the invisible detective, okay? She was like fucking invisible. She was a detective. Like, I don't know where that... It was fucking cool. I'm awesome. I have some really great fucking ideas. I just gave up writing a long time ago, so I wouldn't be able to do it now, but I have some really great fucking ideas. I had this whole story, like, that I wrote out, and I created all the characters and their backstories, and there was, like, they lived in this city, and it was gonna, like, I had, like, a whole sci-fi story, like, in space. And I have all of it. I have all of it in a giant bin in my bedroom. And, like, one of these days I need to pull it out. There's actually one story that I wrote. Like, I took, like one of those journal notebooks. I filled almost the whole fucking thing. I never finished it, though. But every once in a while I will read it again. Because it's like, oh my God. Like, I'm so into this. Like, it's not written probably awesomely, but it's a cool story. And I'm so proud of it. Like, I still love the idea of it. We had to write a story, like a detective short story in like a writing class that I took, and everyone was like, oh, I want to write a story about that, and I was like, can I still do it? Because, like, I thought that was awesome. I always loved Sherlock Holmes, so I totally made my own, like, fucking Sherlock Holmes, right? Like, the detective and the villain and everything, and I was, like, so into, like, that character that, like, I started writing a fucking book. It's just in a journal notebook, so it's, like, maybe 100 pages. Like, the journal notebook, which would be, like, 30 pages in real... I don't know how big I don't remember, but like I will sometimes every once in a while take it out and be like, I gotta read this. And I'm like totally like, yeah, this would have been so cool if I had actually a decent writing talent in like fucking high school when I wrote this shit. And like, whatever. And then you get to the part and you're like, but but where does it go? I want to know. So mad at myself for never finishing it. So mad I want to know where the story goes. That's why I just do stories in The Sims. I don't actually like write them down. I just story tell as we play the games. And that's why we do those things, But I'm just saying, I guarantee you the Invisible Detective was written better than this. That's all I'm saying, okay? I'm just saying. These 6 whole pages that I probably wrote when I was like 10. If that. I don't even know if I was that old. Maybe. I still have that shit somewhere. Anyway, I questioned him in a whispered voice. I wanted to prepare myself if they were coming this way. And they used a fan from the village. A fan? It's a tool left by our ancestors. Contains the mystical power. So even now, if they're going to the city of humans, we use them. He answered my question in a small voice, but his eyes were kept staring at his parents. A long time no sees, Akito. Sorry, I just had to read it that way. A long time no see, Akito. It's good to see you be fine. It's good to see her doing well, is what she meant to say. Again, it's good to see you being fine. Like, it sounds like, again, bad translation, or like a child wrote it where they don't understand, like, other uses. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to see you're doing well. Proper grammar, proper speaking. You know what I mean? So sometimes you read it and you're like, it comes across like if you're reading a kid's book. Like, written by a child, and you're like, cute, nice try. Fix some shit up, but good job, kid. Like, but this was written by adults and machine translated. So the machines translate like they're 6 years old. Kind of weird and cute at the same time. Anyway. It's a beautiful woman in a light purple kimono. Just like Akito and Kasumi, she has transparent white skin. What are you doing right now? Until she mentioned it, I forgot that I was still being hugged. Excuse me, I didn't ask you. She gave me a beautiful, cold-eyed look and refrained me from talking. Then she gazed straight at Akito. What is this? She's our manager, so we protect her. So we protected it. Well, it's coming from Akito. It's unbelievable to have that descendant of that human with that Magatama. How vexing. Scandalous. I didn't want to believe that desperate and provocative warning from that raccoon. Can't believe it's true. You mean, if you hadn't grabbed me and held me, if you had just kind of pushed me behind you guys to protect me, parents probably wouldn't have thought that scandalous rumor was true, but he's groping me. Well, I mean, your parents wouldn't have thought that if your hand wasn't on my ass, but just saying. Akito's father also threw me a hatred sneer. Okay. A sneer of hatred. Great to see you, father. Mother. They just ignore him. I didn't get to go to the aquarium, and now my parents are ignoring me. My life is shit. I feel so bad. And to you, too. Kasumi also greeted them late, yet even with his greeting, their parents only had a glance. Oh, they did. They were like, yeah, you too. They barely looked at him. Oh, poor Kasumi. First we didn't take him to the aquarium with us, now his parents are shunning him. What's happening? While I was dubiously watching them, Akito disappeared with his parents into a reception room in the back. I can kind of imagine that scene. Like, they just magically appear, like, what the fuck? And they're like, who the fuck is this trash? And then all of a sudden they walk away and you're like, what just happened? It all happened in an instant. Are you okay? To be honest, we're not on good terms with Akito's parents either. Well, especially Yuki, because he's a half-blood. He's a mudblood, so... Oh my god. Yuki was shrinking his shoulders to be smaller and asked me, why did you say we, sneaky? And don't include me. Kosei said so, but when he said Akito's parents, his stiff expressions were exactly the same as Yuki. Even in the village, the others have been feared so much. Or is it... I tried to stay calm and smiled at Yuki. It's okay, but I understand that they have a huge hatred towards me. I remember how Akito was behaving in the beginning. He was only showing negative feelings toward me, so if it's his parents, it's understandable. And there's no one who's comfortable talking to Akito's parents. And there's no fox who doesn't know the strict and difficult about the chief in our hometown. There's no fox who doesn't know how strict and difficult the chief in our hometown is. I'm just gonna sort of assume that's kind of what he's trying to say. Even I'd be scared to meet them every time. When Keisuke says that, it sounded like a lie. His behavior and the way he works makes me wonder if there's anything he can't deal with. He's probably also stronger than all of them. Because he's the oldest fox in existence, so... Our father and mother are so-called people of old types of thinking. The laws are absolute, and their mission is to protect the village. They hate the human beings, and they try to maintain the pure breeds. With the words of Kasumi, Yuki also agrees. As you know, my brother and I are fraternal twins. But recently, there are non-purebred who has purebreds have... Recently, there are non-purebred has been born in the village. Oh, okay, so I guess there's a lot of non-purebreeds born in the village. So people in the village were very pleased when we were born. But as soon as they understood that my body was weak and not usable, only Akito was expected to be the next chief. We quietly listened to what Kasumi was telling us. Because of that, Akito's been carrying so much pressure in his young age. He wasn't allowed to play with other children in the village, and has been continuing training. Training all the time? Yes, from morning to late. He almost didn't have any breaks, and he's just been filled with schedules for studies to become the future chief. It's true that after the fox had been ruling the world of mystic creatures, the world of the creatures and humans had maintained the peace indeed. Wow. Figure that one out. That was a train wreck. Kasumi mentioned, on the other hand, if they maintain these secluded laws, other kinds of mystic creatures will be suppressed and they'll be causing trouble eventually. Because I was often sick, I stayed in bed. Over time, Akito came to visit me often and looked after me. He was taken back for studies. Oh no. When I was having a cold, I remember Akito being very kind. Oh, okay, so when she had a cold, okay. He said Kasumi had fevers often, so he was used to it, and he took good care of me. It was the room that no one enters other than the doctor. So when Akito came over to visit, I was even happier. They basically just locked him away. And his parents were like, yeah, this fucking thing. This runt. Your parents don't even love you. They're like, whatever, we have to love you because you're purebred and you're a child, but you were sickly and we locked you away and you never even got visited except from the doctor. This poor fucking thing. Such a train wreck. He's such a train wreck. I mean, we kind of knew he was sickly and everything like that in his route, but just the more this one goes on, I feel so bad for him. You're like, you poor thing. Your parents don't love you. Your brother didn't take you to the aquarium, even though that's like the one thing you've wanted to do in your life. Nobody ever visited you when you were sick except for maybe your brother. Oh, Kasumi, I feel so bad for you. That was the only time they had together as brothers. Kasumi looked anxiously at the door of the living room. There's no sound leaking from the room, and it was eerily quiet. I hope they're all right. Even Akito, who normally has the attitude, can't say anything to them. It's painful to see Akito suffering between responsibility and his dream. In the beginning, when he has to form a band to do this, I thought it'd be impossible, to have me as a weak body as a member. But I thought maybe Akito could change something about me. I came along with him with such thoughts. With Kasumi's murmur, Yuki also nodded. Kosei looked out the window with his difficult expressions. But whenever he doesn't have any objection, he does that. However, only Keisuke seems to have a sad, subtle smile. Wow. Keisuke? When I felt something wrong with him, there was a big broken sound behind the door when I tried to call out to Keisuke. Even for you, mother and father, you can't say that to me like that! There was Akito's scream bursting through, and the door just had opened wildly. I tried to fix that, but I did a bad job. Anyway, Akito? What on earth have you done? Akito came closer when I was worried about him. He grabbed my hand. Wait! He was forcefully pulling my arm and I was taken out of the office. When I looked at Akito from the side, when he was dragging me, he had a very intense anger in his face. Why are we here? And now it's Akatsuki. They changed his name. It was like Akihito before. Anyway, Akito pulled me to the nearby park. There's only less than half of the leaves were turning in autumn leaves. Okay. Well, less than half of the autumn leaves had turned. Okay, only less than half of the leaves had turned. Because it's autumn. Okay, great. There you go. There are some green leaves mixed with the other yellow and red ones. In the place like that, we were just sitting on the benches without doing anything. Brother Tunnel. Oh, Brother Tunnel! Make a hole from the other side! I'm gonna dig it from this side! Okay, I get it. Leave it to me! Don't break your side, though! It's daytime during the weekdays. There are children who are playing happily in the sand pit. It's nostalgic. Akito poured out his words. He's probably remembering his childhood with Kasumi. Really? He used to play in the sand? I thought he wasn't allowed to leave his room. From what I heard from Kasumi earlier, it must have been one of the few good memories with Kasumi. Maybe when he was younger before he got sick. It may have been one of Akito's relaxing times staying with Kasumi when he was feeling well. Akito must have had only responsibilities and expectations. Akito watched the little brothers playing in the sandpit. He gave away my hand sadly. I'm sorry about today, but, that promise I made, I'll keep it for sure, so don't worry. That promise? I didn't really understand what Akito was saying, so I started to think a little. When Akito realized that I didn't remember, he was frowning and talked to me in a loud voice, with irritation. Huh? You've forgotten already? I had a promise, remember? To protect Akito? To protect yourself? This doesn't make any sense. He's like, I'll keep my promise. And then it's like, and now we're saying, oh, my promise to protect you. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Oh, but I'd protect you, Akito? I wouldn't forget about what I said in front of Pyros. Don't worry, I won't forget about that. I'll not let them destroy Foxeer. When I said that again, Akito sighed after he turned red. Yeah, okay, good. All right, I was like, okay, here we go. You don't understand the same language I'm speaking. I said I won't be the one who isn't going to break the promise. Well, I guess I was wrong. Did you really forget about this? I even made a promise to you. A promise that Akito made for me. I was wondering if there was any moment that he made a promise. When I was thinking, Akito grabbed my shoulder to bring me closer. We were looking like lovers on the bench, closely stayed together. Akito, since it was still daytime, it wasn't chilly. It was a rather warm day. In that weather, while I was staying with Akito, although it was hot, I was able to feel my heart pounding. That makes no sense, but okay. I think I had the same feeling before. I remembered the time we were staying in the cave at the summer seaside for the PV shooting. We were cuddling the same way. Oh, at the ocean side? Oh, now you remember? But what I can remember is the promise that you made to me at the cave. I can remember until the ocean side, but I remember Akito had his ear and he was having trouble not having enough power. I was trying hard to talk to Akito. Do you feel like you're drunk reading this? Because I do. When moaning while I was thinking, Akito looked over at me desperately. You know, I've been thinking about this, but, you really don't care about yourself much, do you? What's that for? When Akito said that, I got confused. This whole game is confusing. You know, you could have been more defensive and go against us, but instead you worked sincerely for us. You really are a strange human being. Well, isn't it normal to work on the job I was given? I was only doing what I was supposed to do to make a living. Anyway, you really are easy to convince. You should be more greedy. Isn't the greed supposed to be a human basic? Hey! Yeah, a little bit. Oh, really? Well, even for you, Akito, you're working hard for your members and not just being greedy. Yeah. But I'm a fox, dumbass. Oh, right. Yeah, but I'm being greedy not to let my precious things go. Music, my band, and you too. What? I told you when we were in the cave I'll protect you. Oh, finally I remembered. At that time I was concentrating on the job that I had to bring Akito back without him being hurt, so I was missing out on the rest of the memories. For some reason, it makes me feel embarrassed when he says that again. It makes me feel very warm, but for him to mention something like this, his parents must have told him something. I wonder what they told him. For Akito to yell and jump out from his parents, away from his parents, who he was scared of, it's hard to ask. When I was down and couldn't say anything back to him, Akito stopped holding me. Before I even asked him what happened, he took my hand. He was holding my hand gently and intertwined our fingers. Akito? I'm gonna keep the promise. Whatever happens, I will. Akito only said that while looking at me and grasped my hand. I conned? And grasped his hand back? Anyway, she holds his hand back. Okay. Because of our hand sizes different, there was space between our fingers. It was difficult to hold his hand, but it also gave me comfort. The kindness and determination of Akito was transmitted from his hand. From holding his hand. Okay. There were autumn leaves falling towards us on the bench. I was worried that my face was turning red as much as Akito's eyes. I looked Akito back at him. Okay, I looked back at Akito. The end. Okay. I put a foliage plant back where it was supposed to be and cleaned up the soil. When I looked at the wall, there was a lot of damage caused by the whirlwind. I noticed that I have to change the wallpaper. It makes me sigh. Probably, they couldn't understand that Akito wanted to sing in the human world. The next day when Akito's parents left, it was a tough schedule that they need to finish the ballad song somehow and release it for the first time tomorrow. There's a recording of the live broadcast on a music program tomorrow. Pyros had also been on the same program. They reported to Akito's parents, even though they're from a different tribe, they must be thinking about some other way to sabotage the band. Hey, Why aren't you answering me? What? I didn't realize he was calling me. Akito tapped my head while I was sweeping with the broom. Sorry, I was concentrating on cleaning. When I turned around and looked back, Akito was there, smiling kindly. You don't have to lie. It's written on your face that you're extremely worried. Really? You can tell. I thought that I shouldn't make Akito worry about me. I flashed my best smile at him. How's the songwriting? Is it going well? Yeah, but Yuki said the drum part was difficult, and Kosei said it's easy to get muddled putting everything together. Plus Kasumi told me he's having a hard time. Had time following the melody during the ad-lib. The confidence that he has that he'll fix everything on time seems very professional. Great, I can't wait until it's all complete. I really want to listen to the song that Akito has put his effort and feelings into. Of course, I'm going to the studio together tomorrow with everyone. Yeah, but you're gonna stay here. The Keisuke's gonna turn this into a safe house and create a protective shield. What? Why? When I looked surprised, Akito scratched his head. Hey, you really don't understand that you become a target, do you? We already told you the one who makes you fall in love with them wins the Magatama. Fall for... When I think about it, everyone was talking about that in the beginning. But as I started to stay with the members of Foxear, I felt like we became friends eventually. If that's what it is, then I already like everyone. Akito spoke honestly, but bitterly, with his head down. I told you you're in danger. If you say that you like us already, then they'll feel like they have a chance to persuade your heart, too. Akito started pointing at me and lecturing me. He's like, they're gonna try to trick you into falling in love with them, and I don't want that because I love you. Aw, he's a little jealous. I really want to go. I want to be with you, baby. I love you. But I really want to go to the shooting tomorrow. It's the song that you struggled so much on while thinking about the others. As a manager, and also as a fan, I was really looking forward to this. No, you can't. Are you trying to make me break the promise already? I already understood that Akito really wants to keep the promise that he mentioned the other day. It makes me stop talking about it anymore. I understood that Akito was worried for me, so it was difficult to argue with him on this. I decided to watch the live broadcast from the office. With a protective shield that Keisuke makes, we'll put our powers together. It'll be difficult for the other races to enter this place. You think that they'll be doing something to disturb you guys? The power that's inside this Magatama is the power of the fox, right? Even if another tribe gets it, isn't it useless? Still, if you're manipulated by them, you might be able to use the power. And what they want is the power itself, not you. I felt scared when Akito explained that I could be used as a tool if they wanted to. My parents also know about you. The words have probably spread to raccoon villages too. Everyone will be looking for you now. Akito looked down and continued talking uncomfortably. Even my father said the same thing. If a human girl has the Magatama, even with the Magatama's protection, I should look for a time when you're vulnerable, and then take away your consciousness and turn you into my doll. If I do that and gain all the power from the Magatama, I don't have to do stupid things like singing in the human world. I'll be able to live as the chief on the Fox Village. Like, steal my consciousness and make me a toy. My God, his dad's a dick. We should stab him. You know what? I'm going to the Fox Village and I'm going to stab me a fox. I went fox hunting! It's his dad's hand on a spike. Fuck that dude, he's a dick. That's rude. Oh, that's the reason why Akito screamed and rushed out suddenly. You're like, it's because they were going to take away his dream of singing. Also, he didn't actually want to turn me into a doll, but she's probably more thinking the, singing thing. I've decided that's my dream to sing for our village and to show the power of the foxes through singing our songs. I don't want the others to destroy this. Akito's tone gradually became rougher. When it comes to the path of a Fox Village chief, Akito's dream is irrelevant. I really want to help you and the other members. If I'm in danger, despite my will, this Magatama is going to activate. It's nothing to do with me being defenseless or not. Yeah, I know. I know that sometimes you can't do anything to help us, even if you want to. And that's why I'm asking you to stay here tomorrow, just to be careful. Akito spoke lovingly and brought me closer to him. Akito? It's like she doesn't get that he's like, I'm gonna protect you, and he kissed you and all this, and she's like, Akito, why are you doing this? And he's like, because I'm fucking in love. Do you not get that? Maybe there's a part of it that's like, you're just fucking with me, right? Akito stroked my head and back to calm me from being too anxious. Akito murmured softly, please listen to my song tomorrow. It was a determined voice that I've never heard from him before. Finally, today's the day of the battle against Pyros. On today's live broadcast on the music program, Foxier and Pyros are releasing a new song. During this program, there'll be an audience who will cast votes during the performance, and the one with the most votes can win the rights to do a live performance in the Budokan, one of the biggest live performance venues in the middle of Tokyo. Ooh, Budokan. We can't lose this battle! Yuki is brimming with motivation. We won't. Let's try our best. When I need to do it, I'll do it. Each of the members say a comment to get hyped up. Let's go! I'll be supporting you guys from in front of the TV. My cousin is heading to the studio instead of me, saying that I have other errands, so I can't attend. I've been working on the backstage a lot, he said. It's good to go to the studio sometimes. It's sad that I can't vote for them, but I'll be supporting you from here. I remember clasping my hands with frustration that I couldn't go as I waved off the members to the studio. As I was watching them leave in the distance, I hoped they'd succeed. I was cleaning up the office for a while, and I wanted to take a coffee break. There was a notification for a missed call. It's the phone number of the studio for today. Maybe it's Akito and the others. Normally speaking, they call me from their mobile phone. I was wondering why they're calling from the studio's phone, so I called back the studio. It was possible that they weren't near the phone anymore, but after ringing 3 times, someone answered. Hi, this is Foxier's manager speaking. When I said that, there was a bright voice interrupting me from talking. Oh. Oh my god, it's you! You finally noticed! I'm so sorry, but Akito's in trouble right now? Apparently he forgot an important document. Documents? What is it? I never heard about any important documents. Are they faking it? Is that really Yuki? I tried looking around his desk to see anything left there, but I can't find anything. I don't really know much about the details, but it's on the desk in his apartment. In the apartment? Even if I go to the apartment and go to the studio, it'll be time for them to be on the show on live camera. I wasn't sure about it, and I was told not to leave this office. I don't know whether I should leave here. I remember that he was worried because I would be easily fooled. On the phone, it was definitely Yuki's voice. Okay, it's on the table in the apartment, right? What Akito was afraid of was for me to be in contact with Pyros. If I'm arriving right before the live broadcast, then they should be in the position in front of the camera and waiting for their cue. Just in case there's a possibility of meeting them, I should probably ask my cousin to come out when I get close to the studio. I left the office in a hurry, grasping the Magatama tightly. I don't think it was Yuki. It's definitely Yuki's voice. There was no unusual change on the way to the apartment. The trouble was that when I got to Akito's place, there was nothing on his desk. The hell? Isn't it the desk he was talking about? I thought there was some envelope on the table in the living room, but it's been cleaned and nothing was on the desk. Was there any desk in the bedroom? Maybe he meant as a side table next to the bed, so I tried going in. When I grabbed the doorknob, I thought I heard a meowing sound. Oh? I don't know where it entered from. There was one cat with a bell on its neck jumping off from the sofa. It had an envelope in its mouth. No, that envelope! Cute kitty, kitty, kitty! Give it back to me! When I called, the cat looked surprised and was slowly coming towards me. Good kitty, thank you. I was able to take the envelope from the cat. When I tried to open the envelope... Gotcha! I was like, when they saw the cat, I was like, is that Nakone? Like, he's finally in it. What? I was surprised when the cat talked. The moment I opened it, there were ivies coming out and they grew from the envelope. What is this? I can't take it off. My legs and hands are wrapped immediately with some kind of ivy, twisting around my body and constricting me so that I can't move. You guys are so simple. It makes me laugh, really. As the cat spoke, it changed its appearance. Instead of the cat standing there was a cute girl with pigtails and 2 cute ears poking through. Oh, Nakone was a girl? Did not know that. They never made that clear in the beginning. Well, it's funny. Well, I mean, when they said, like, in the dress and everything, I guess I should have, but I just assumed he was a dude in the band in a floofy skirt, right? Like, so Nakone was a girl the whole time. Or it's just a dude that dresses like a girl. I don't know. Whatever, but... Oh. No, it looked like a pretty girl, but I knew that was a boy. I was like, I'm pretty sure they said he in the other ones. You know what I mean? All right. The cat from Pyros. Oh, you know my name too? I'm so happy. Meow. I'm so happy, meow. There was a barrier all the time in this apartment, but it's been moved to the office today. It was really convenient to use this apartment today. It's the member who dresses up as a woman and acts cute. Even now he's making cat's paw pose near his face. It's fucking amazing. Why? You should be at the live performance now. After all, you don't know anything, do you? Cats can divide themselves in two, meow. So my other half is there in the studio. Well, that's fucking weird. Also, I'm so good at turning into others, too. Look! No way! He turned into Yuki. As I desperately struggled against being tied up, I tried to use my Magatama, but it wasn't responding. Told you it wasn't really Yuki on the phone. Man, okay, how did the cats not fucking rule the world? How are the foxes the ones ruling? If cats can turn into other people and split themselves in two. That is and the foxes need a goddamn fan to make a fucking whirlwind and blow their asses into another I'm just saying, how the fuck aren't the cats ruling the world? Are they just like, fuck this shit, I'm too lazy to do it? Like, what? Cats are, right now, if you were like, okay, so there's a magical creature, fox, they're cat people. Cat people, 100%. Because you know damn well, if you have a cat and a dog, the dog is there to, play with me. And the cat owns you. You don't own a cat. Cat owns you. Okay? Sometimes my bird owns me because he acts like a cat, and sometimes he acts like a dog and I own him. Like, it's weird. He's mental. But cats own you. You don't own cats. Okay? Right? But then you find out that cat people can split themselves in two. They can turn into other people. And they have, like, all sorts of I'm sorry, but you're trying to... Like, Nakone must be the only fucking cat boy in existence because you're trying to fucking tell me that they're not more powerful than the foxes. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Foxes can't do this shit. Keisuke is the most powerful fox. He can't do this shit. Just saying. The Magatama isn't responding at all. Even if I try to break the ivy, it just pulls even tighter. Hey, you wanted to listen to their new song, right? I'll show it to you, of course. Nakone carried me on his shoulder and brought me into the studio. Wait, are you actually Oh, he brings me to the recording studio. Okay. But again, it's still... At first I was thinking bringing me back to, like, our home base studio. You know what I mean? Like, where we work. Like, the office. And I was like... And then he brought me here, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, no, the thing still applies. How the fuck did nobody see a dude carrying a girl over his shoulder wrapped in ivy? And nobody thought that was weird. Again, magical powers, probably. But still, I'm just saying, why are cats not ruling? Anyway. Akito! Nakone showed me the live broadcast on TV in the waiting room. The host of the program just spoke to Akito. I heard it's your first time making a ballad. Yeah, it took a long time to make this one. He is stuck in the studio for ages. Even now, although I was caught by pyros, I was getting really excited when I knew their song would be played soon. A song with Akito's feelings. The intro part of the music started. The sounds overlap with each other, and it sounds very different from a usual ballad. Oh. When the song started, I lost my words. I thought it was for the members. I thought the song was about the conflict happening at the Fox Village and his determination to reach his dream. As I listened to the lyrics, my tears overflowed. Is that song for me? I may have misunderstood when he said you. Maybe as a future chief, he meant as the people from the village. But even then, I couldn't stop thinking that the song was for me. I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. It could be a little bit about everything, you know? Why are you crying right now? It's still early to cry. The show's starting now. What? Meow, meow! As Nakone raised its voice, suddenly a white light emanated from me, and my body floated gently into the air. What? What's going on? It's... Oh no. When I opened my eyes, I was suspended with ivy from the ceiling at the back of the audience seats. Okay, this is fucking weird. What? Foxier's performance stops. No, you have to continue! I understood the aim of pyros. I wasn't to stop the performance. If that was it, then it would just be ended as an accident. Damn, it's because of them. As Akito groaned, his pupils became thinner and very fox-like. As he became angrier, it would be recorded on camera. Akito, calm down! You can't let your emotions get out of control! I tried crying out desperately to stop him, but in the meantime, the ivy started tearing from my weight. Oh my. From the 3 stories up, if I fell, it would be a very dangerous fall. There were also some equipment and sets underneath. Maybe I can activate my Magatama. Akito! Hide from the camera, everyone! The Magatama is the power of the fox. If they receive the power, that means they'll be having their ears and tails out. If it appears, it'd be the end for them. I mean, they already have ears and tails, so like... Watch out! Akito shouted at me and flew over the moment the ivy was cut completely. Akito! As we're screaming falling. While I was falling, the Magatama lit up again. It slowed down time, enough for Akito to be able to catch me. The moment he grabbed me in the middle of the air, the ears that he wore in his head had fallen and his real ears sprung out. Also, his tail was different from the one you can hook on your pants. It was even fluffier. What? Is this part of the performance? Did Akito fly without a wire? Look, his eyes are glowing. Monster! Nobody would say that. They would be like, oh my god, the fucking special effects is awesome! Nobody would call him a monster. They would literally think it was special effects. I'm serious. There were people screaming and shouting. The Nikone that was on the stage started screaming loudly and deliberately. Oh my god, that's a fox! It's terrifying! Foxers are a group of fox monsters! You! In that moment, with Akito's anger, there was winds circulating all of a sudden, and they toward the chair next to Nikone. Oh, that's a monster! When Akito started to glare intensely, floating fire emerged. His power must be overflowing. How come my Magatama didn't respond when I was caught? It's like to show the true identity of Akito and the other members. What is this? She's not taking the side of the fox? I started to be afraid of the Magatama. I have no clue why and how I'm supposed to use it. At least, it seems like it's trying to protect me, but I can't use the power for Akito and the others. What does the Magatama want? Foxers are monsters! What's going on? Get them out of here quickly! We can't continue on stage anymore! It was too obvious from how Pyros were acting to get rid of Foxier. They approached the host of the program. Wait! You guys are also... We're what, huh? They started to provoke them and grinned. They don't enjoy making music at all. They probably don't care if they show their true identities. Now let's leave here for now. Everyone, come on. Well, Foxier's finished. That's sad. Keisuke called the other members and finally looked at Akito. Aw, my god, he's fucking tall. Jesus. Also, well, she looks way smaller, like her head is too small compared to his, but also we're really fucking short. Akito regretfully bit his lips and came back to the stage holding me. His tail was glowing with light as beautiful. His pupils were fascinatingly shining with power. This is our last performance. The audience members were frightened by Akito and many of them left. People who were too frightened to leave just froze in their seats. As Akito looked at the destruction, he murmured into my ear with a voice that only I could hear. Keisuke appeared with Yuki, Kosei, and Kasumi on either side of him. He was transporting all of us with a whirlwind. We can't say or not, but the ballad that Akito and the others sang for the first time was given a huge shock to many people. That's so sad. They spent all that time and they just don't even... Aww. We might not be able to finish this in the next part because we still have like 3 chapters and then our ending. Again, because I rambled a lot. But also this part took a long time. Like we were almost done with chapter 9. So normally we would have done 10, 11, and 12 in this part. We only had like 20 minutes worth of chapter 9 to read. So the fact that you know what I mean? Like 40 minutes to, yeah. Yeah, no, they're usually each, but we were in the middle of chapter 9. You know what I mean? So some of the chapters are a little bit like longer, but at any rate, I guess if we didn't have to finish chapter 9, maybe did we just start? We had already done all the choices in chapter 9. That's weird. But anyway, we'll stop here. We may get our ending in the next part. We may not. But whatevs, it is what it is. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.